Okay, so low key, I do kind of plan on working on the last one alive since I haven't did like paid attention to it in a while. So I'm probably gonna read it to you and then I'll work on it. So, all right, let me go back to the thing. Hey, so I have been on a really long hiatus with two stories still in the works, but I haven't really been motivated to finish either of them, so they may or may not become discontinued. Hope you understand. The Last One Alive is a fan made fighting story where a crazy murderer unexpectedly showed up in Crossroads, killing everyone in just 2 days. Not everything will be lore accurate, so don't hate me for it. Fortunately, Medkit was lucky enough to hide in time and not be killed. Sadly, Medkit's partner, Banhammer, did not survive and was buried by Medkit. Medkit's appearance began to change as time went by, dyeing his horns and changing his clothing to be golden in shades of black/gray, basically becoming the 7MK0 skin. Most of the time, Medkit just wanders around the empty crossroads, watching how things change each day. And if you don't know what the 7MK0 skin looks like, then here. He's so pretty. I love him. If you're clicking, that's just my Apple Pencil. Alright, number 1, third person POV. By the way, Medkit will be sometimes referred to as the Golden Demon because he's not teal anymore. Reminder that Medkit looks like the 7MK0 skin in this fic, not his regular design. Trigger warning, mentions of death/dying and, grieving, mourning or something. Sad. Another fine empty day has arrived in Crossroads. It was sunlit and warm, an excellent day to go outdoors and lie down with others. However, there are no others around. Not anymore. Medkit reclined in his apartment, nestled on his makeshift bed. It was more of a hammock, honestly. The hammock provided a comfortable haven, shielding his sensitive horns from unnecessary agitation. Mornings were never his favorite, and as he awoke, he shifted and wriggled before rising, emitting a weary yawn. His golden geometric wings moved subtly as he stretched, barely making a sound. The warm yellow sunlight streamed in through the window, landing directly on his face and making him instinctively squint. He gently rubbed his eye and stretched out his arm to grab his sunglasses from the nearby side table. The sunglasses had the same geometric design as its wings on the left lens, covering his missing and stitched eye. As he slipped them on, the brightness of the sunlight was immediately subdued. The once teal, now golden demon got out of his hammock, walking sluggishly over to his wardrobe and selecting an outfit. Green and white, no. Red and black, still no. He persisted in his search until he finally found his old uniform, a striking teal ensemble adorned with dark green accents and intricate gold imprints. He sighed heavily and shook his head, dispelling the thoughts that began to intrude his mind. He then turned his attention back to the array of outfits before him. Aha, black and yellow. Medkit removed the outfit from the hanger and carefully ironed it to eliminate any ruffles or creases in the fabric. Why are there 5 comments here? Oh. After finishing the meticulous task of ironing his garments, he carefully slipped into the freshly pressed outfit as he fastened the buttons and adjusted the collar. A peculiar thought crossed his mind. Why did he even need to wear neat clothes in the first place? He could just walk out in a t-shirt and shorts without a problem. He nonchalantly dismissed the issue and continued with the task of putting on his clothes. The golden demon adorned his boots and stepped outside, where he was met with the gentle caress of radiant sunlight and the warmth of the air. As he emerged, the air enveloped his face with a heat akin to opening an oven. In the past, he could always discern the cacophony of other demons traversing Crossroads. The absence of any sound except for a gentle breeze seemed incredibly unusual to him. There wasn't a single other demon in his line of sight, leaving him all alone in the stillness. Medkit let out a deep sigh and strolled down the empty streets, casting periodic glances at the row of cars lining the curbs. The vehicles seemed to have been parked there for quite some time, silently blending into the landscape. As he wandered, he was free to stop at any place that caught his interest. No longer bound by anyone's rules or expectations, he finally stumbled upon a quaint little library. The peaceful ambience made it the perfect spot to unwind and take a break. Upon pushing the door open, a small bell chimed, announcing his arrival. Medkit meticulously combed through the towering bookshelves, carefully scrutinizing each book title. Having already devoured the contents of every volume in this library, he couldn't fathom what new literary treasures, if any, remained undiscovered. He wasn't particularly keen on rereading something that he would, given that he already knew the outcome, but despite that, he found himself reaching for a random book and delving into its pages. Time skip because it's unimportant. After spending a few hours engrossed in the library, Medkit finally decided to leave. Stepping outside, he was greeted by a sudden cold breeze, a telltale sign that nightfall was imminent. The sky darkened and a single raindrop splashed onto the ground before him, followed by more droplets as the rain began to fall. Realizing that he had no rain gear, Medkit hesitated a moment before resigning himself to the fact that he would soon be drenched. Let me check comments real quick. Why am I in the thumbnail? Hi, Subspace. Anyway, where was it? Oh. The demon's thoughts were soon consumed by the sudden change in weather. When he awoke, the sun was shining, but now the rain was pouring down heavily. As he pondered the reason behind this unexpected shift, he couldn't help but think about Windforce, the deity believed to control the weather. Why would she be causing a downpour and shedding tears? Then it dawned on him. The truth struck Medkit like a heavy blow. It became clear to him why Windforce was in such distress. Ever since the tragic demise of Banhammer, her beloved son and Medkit's partner, she had been unable to recover from her grief. As Medkit trudged through the rain, the sound of thunder grew louder. He longed to console Windforce, to ease her pain. He yearned for the days when every fighter was still alive and well. Medkit was paralyzed with fear, unable to bring himself to step outside when the tragedy struck. It had been precisely 14 days since the brutal incident claimed the lives of everyone in the vicinity. The weight of regret is crushing him as he realizes that his decision to stay hidden meant that he couldn't offer help to anyone. While he might have faced the same fate if he had ventured outside, the burden of guilt engulfs him like an unstoppable, overwhelming tsunami. Let me check chat again. Alright. Anyway, Medkit let out a heavy sigh as he trudged through the muddy path. Determined to reach his destination, the biting wind and relentless rain seemed to conspire against him. But after what felt like an eternity, he finally arrived at the desolate place known as the graveyard. The eerie stillness was broken by only by the haunting sight of fighter gravestones scattered in disarray across the uneven ground. Unfazed, Medkit pressed on, his eyes scanning the names etched into the weathered stones as he searched for one in particular. My neck is itchy. Wait. Why does everyone have the plague? Anyway. His weary legs protested each step, the weight of the drenching rain seeming to multiply with every passing moment. Despite the discomfort, he pushed forward until, at last, he stopped abruptly before a solitary gravestone. The name etched on the stone sent a shiver down his spine. Banhammer. It was the one he had laid to rest himself, painstakingly arranging every detail from the coffin to the final shovel of dirt. Medkit knelt before the stone, unfazed by the booming thunder and the pelting rain. With a heavy sigh, he removed a ring from the brow tine of his horn and placed it on the muddy ground. Despite the inclement weather, he was certain that the ring would remain undisturbed in this desolate place. Tomorrow, he made a solemn promise to himself to revisit Banhammer's grave. This ritual had become an unending cycle in his daily life. Each morning, Medkit would awaken, meander through the streets, pay his respects at the graveyard, wander a little more, and eventually return home. It seemed to have become his routine. As he rose to his feet, he struggled to contain his emotions, refusing to give in to the overwhelming urge to weep. With a heavy heart, Medkit turned away from the grave, stealing one last glance at the ring glistening in the rain before walking away from the somber setting. Why the hell? Hold up. You know what? I'm gonna not read this anymore and turn my microphone off.